Ever wondered what those tiny dots are on your pockets, on your lapel? Well, it has a name, and that's called top stitching, or more specifically, spaced back stitches. And today I'm going to teach you how to make them. You'll need sewing thread in the same color as your fashion fabric, a pair of scissors, a thimble, and of course, a sewing needle. Begin by simply creating a knot right here. And in this case, it's to my interfacing, but it should be to the back of what you're doing, not the front. And to create a knot, I simply go through the loop. And I always like to secure it twice, just so that it's extra strong. Now, to create the back stitching, or the spaced back stitching, I go through the back, as you can see. Then, from here on, I go forward just a tad bit, like that. Then through, and on the front, you'll have gone up. Then you take just a tiny, tiny, tiny prick, just like that. Then you normally push your needle just a tad bit, but since my needle is so large, I first go through, and as you can see, I've created a tiny, tiny dot. That's why it's called a spaced back stitch. Now I go forward just a little bit. And you should not exceed this, just so that it's nice and symmetric. And then once again, a tiny, tiny dot. And that's it. That's how you create a spaced back stitch, also known as top stitching. I've now finished the seam, as you can see, or the spaced back stitch. And just one thing that I want to note is that once you reach the actual end, which I did right here, what I did was simply tie 2 knots, and I did this simply by doing the same procedure as I did at the beginning. And also try to keep this stitch length on the back as short as possible, since a larger stitch length or a longer stitch length will lead to the actual top stitching moving the fabric, and then it will start to look like this.